Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Conan Exiles live stream. It is Thursday once again, which means that we are live here from the Oslo, the Funcom office here at Oslo in Norway. I'm never good at these openings, am I? Especially on days like today where I'm flying solo. Well, not completely solo, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Natasha's not here because Natasha is at GDC, currently giving demos of Conan Unconquered to a bunch of really cool journalists and other people. But so it's going to be me today. Deal with it. But of course we have Nicole in chat. We also have I think Carbuncle is moderating our Mixer chat, and then it's gonna be nice. Shout out to everyone in chat. Shout out to Killisbits, to A Gaming 50, to Flyhacks, to your boy Yobi-Wan Kenobi, to a bunch of other really cool people who are currently sitting in chat. We're sorry that we started a bit late today. I had some technical difficulties that needed to be solved. Turns out all I needed was to restart the streaming program, which just goes to show you that the IT department doesn't always pull you around when they're asking you to turn something off and then turn it back on again. So what's been going on since last week? It's been busy for us, but it's been nice and quiet as well. We patched PS4 earlier this week, and people seem to be very happy about that. There are some bugs here and there, but overall the mood seems to be very positive. And then of course the Xbox version got this patch earlier today with all the same stuff. So all the platforms are now at parity in terms of content and fixes and all that kind of stuff. And it seems to me, at least, like the building optimizations and all that kind of jazz has been very well received. But please let us know if there's stuff that you still feel like we should fix and take care of. And hopefully the audio is much better now than it used to be, because we used to have some audio troubles where stuff was a bit low, but I've changed some audio settings around, so hopefully it should be better now. All right, audio is good. Audio is a tons better. Sweet. Hopefully we'll stay that way for the remainder of the stream. All right. All right. What we are here to do today is to take a tour of a community server. And we do this from time to time when there's a server that catches our eye, or if someone says, hey, we have this really cool server, we would like you to maybe take a look at it and see what's there. And the first thing is the case here, where I had some friends who were running an RP server, and I thought, why don't we stop by and see how they're doing. So today we're gonna talk to some people from the From Ashes Risen server, if I'm remembering the name right. I actually should have that right in front of me. Yeah, so I'm gonna click that button, so hopefully you'll be able to hear them now. So joining me on Discord is Amy and Sicarium. How are you doing, guys?
Hey, doing great. How about you? I
am doing quite well. What about you, Sicarium?
Doing good. Excited to be here.
So both of you are server admins on the From Ashes Risen server.
Well, I'm a server admin. He's kind of one of our helper class.
I'm been here a long time.
Yeah.
So when you say a long time, how long is a long time?
Oh, I think I started maybe a week after the server went up, so a month and a half, 2 months.
All right. So the server's been around since I think it was like January. You told me,
yeah, like
Amy?
end of January. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, what made you guys decide to be a part of this thing? And we're going to talk a bit about like what the server is all about and where you start and all that. But I want to get like some of your background on this stuff.
Do you want to go first, Sicarium, since you were here first?
All right. When I started playing, I just was looking for a RP server. I gotten bored with different games, and I wanted something a little more than just vanilla experience. And I just found this one, jumped in the Discord, started playing. I loved the way the owner had set up the quest lines to start things up with all the options, and liked the people who were here. They just stuck around.
Yeah, it's basically the same for me, too. I love Conan Exiles. I mean, I had told you, I made you that nice little badge because it's my favorite game. I'm sucking up. And but my problem is I love exploring in games, and I just had everything memorized.
Right. Sure.
After several
That's
hundred
fair.
hours.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I was like looking around for something that might give me a few more surprises, and this fit the bill.
And did you guys have any experience with like role playing in this kind of sense previously, or was this your first jump?
No, I'm long time tabletop role player, and in video games, I actually spent most of my Age of Conan career as like a level 30 Tempest of Set dancing in Serpent's Head.
And I've been tabletopping for a long time. Probably a year and a half ago, I got into ARC role-playing servers, and I thought it was a lot more fun than just playing vanilla games. So
Sure.
I'm doing that.
I mean, because it's a really cool thing to sort of embody a character and just sort of play as that character fully out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
A lot of stress relief. Hop on and start punching things.
Yeah, because you mentioned that like you do all this in your spare time, as far as I'm
Yes.
told. A lot of the stuff that goes on in the server is all like a big community effort, right?
Oh yeah. All of the admins have
Definitely.
full-time jobs. Well, one of them is a full-time student, and
Right.
the other four of us have full-time jobs. And, yeah, everyone pretty much is a passion project.
Sure. And I guess that's what keeps you motivated as well. Because I mentioned this when we talked earlier, Amy, that when I come home from a work day, I just want to sit down and do absolutely nothing. And you guys sit down and then you work on this.
Yeah, it gets to be a lot sometimes. There's sometimes, and that's where it helps to have 5 admins. You know, we're not all carbon copies of each other. We actually bring very different aspects to the administration of this server. But we do try to kind of watch each other's backs and, not make decisions without talking it over between everybody and making sure that we just have some downtime, because
Right.
it does drain you. I mean, really, really drain you. Even if everything's great. Waking up in the morning and I have 118 messages, it's...
Yeah. What about you, Sakarium? Because Amy told you that you recently had a child now?
I had a child recently. He's
Yeah.
3 weeks old now. But yeah, it's for me. It's just a way to relax and calm down. I mean, I have a lot of children, not just the one. And I've been playing full-time dad. My work gave me time off, so it's when the kids are in bed, it's like time to wind down and just relax. And I come here and I hang out with my friends on the server, with Amy and with the other admins and with the other players, and just relax and have fun. I don't have to deal with all the admin tickets, though, so,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Only once we convince you to...
I think that's
Sorry, go ahead.
I think that's the best part, when you can be like sort of the more active person who's like close to being an admin but doesn't have to deal with all the admin stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Yeah. And it's nice having him there because he drives a lot of the role play on the
Right.
server.
Yeah, so getting into it, what is From Ashes Risen? Like it's a role-playing server, so I assume that there's a whole bunch of lore and backstory that people have to read and get into before they join up.
Yeah, and that throws a lot of new players off, that we're not using the Conan lore by itself. We use the Age of Calamitous mod, which is amazing, but we're not really using that lore either. These were 2 nice platforms for our own. So the owner has this really beautiful vision of a really complex world with different tiers of gods, and you can see one of them in front of us now, our imprisoned god Riven. So when players start on the server, it's very obvious that they have just died. And, you go talk to him and he offers to resurrect you. And what were you doing? Were you hunting with your companion in the north? Were you trying a really complicated spell that blew up in your face? And walked you through choosing a class. And that our kind of like the base of our game is around that, and that's what the name of the From Ashes Risen is, obviously the Phoenix,
Right.
where you're being resurrected continuously if you die a lot, and people do die a lot. This is not a starter server.
Right.
This very Dark Souls inspired. It is challenging. It's we don't really make things easy on people.
No, not at all. Server settings are pumped up to make combat more difficult.
Yeah, with the intent of we want people to group up. We want them to have to work together to achieve things. It makes me super happy when I see like 5 dwarves going in and fighting a giant somewhere.
Yeah.
Um,
And as people can probably tell from the sword on my back and the daggers at my side and some of the items that I have on my hotbar, we're running some mods here. And I think I looked over the mod list. It's about 12, 15 mods.
Something like that. Enough that probably the biggest headache is just trying to coordinate keeping everybody up on the same version when there's been a FunCon patch. And
Sorry.
it's okay.
All mod
It's
patches
okay.
after.
I've tried to find ways around it, like, oh, can I drop a folder for people with the current versions and their own mod list file, and it just Steam's not letting me do it.
Right.
I can find a way around it, I will. But
ISS in chat that she can confirm the difficulty.
yeah, yep.
So
Bless
this
her
is
heart. She's one of our European players, and she has to, on top of all of the mods, deal with the ping.
yes, and because this is an American server located on, I think it's the East Coast. So
Yes.
there might be. I'm just saying this to the audience watching that there might be some hitching there here and there, but we did a playthrough earlier to just see how things ran, and things ran fairly well in most of the not busy areas, so it should be running well on the stream as well, so we can show off some of it. But it doesn't seem to be too much of a strain on this computer at least. But it's a bit beefy, I think.
Yeah, we try to do everything we can. We all pitch in and pay for a dedicated server.
Yeah.
And because I tried to spin up a testing server, just kind of a small instance, and it couldn't run it.
Right.
With all the mods.
So I'm also noticing some people in chat are wondering how they can get access to this server. And should we maybe talk about that real quick?
Yeah, sure. Everything is I hate to say controlled, but my brain is not wording right now. Everything is run through our Discord.
Mm-hmm.
So all of our players are required to be on Discord, and you can find that link at www.fromashesrisen.com.
I'm also going to put up a
wiki.
link in the chat so people
Yep.
can find it real easy.
And we do have an application process. You will have to bear with us. We're expecting a little bit of an influx. We've already had several this morning. Yeah, the application's pretty easy. Just make sure that you read at least a little bit of our lore and our server rules. And just remember that story is key. That's the big experience for us, is we want a good story.
So you also mentioned to me earlier that you had about 200 people rolling in and out at different times?
Yes. And we have a core of much less of that, much fewer than that.
Right.
But yeah, I was going through the, shout out to Battle Metrics for their amazing tools, and we have about 200 coming in and out at different times.
Yeah, that's a hell of a number.
We average at about 25 players most of the time. Right now is our low time, and we've still got 15. So it's pretty good, pretty alive.
Pretty good numbers. Yeah. So this is the starting area of the game then, or the starting area for your server?
Yep. When you come in, instead of starting in the desert, well, you might get a flash of desert. Yeah. And then you pop up here, naked and alone, to talk to the imprisoned god Riven. If you want, I can reset your quest flags so you can do that again.
Sure, let's do that. Because I
would still recommend picking magic again.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So essentially, what you've done here is you've taken the core base game that we've done, and you basically just ballooned all the RPG elements into like a much greater depth than it already had in the base game.
Yeah.
Thanks to
a whole bunch of
mods. Okay,
Yeah,
I
a whole
appreciate
bunch
that.
of mods, a whole bunch of really fantastic ideas, but yeah, that's one of the questions actually that really throws people off in the application is we just ask them, what do we call the Exiled Lands? So,
Right, yeah.
yeah.
Because this is supposed to be, like, even though you're using our map, it's supposed to be a completely, like, different area. It's a completely different world,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, it's a completely different world.
Yeah.
So I cleared your flags. You should be good to.
Sweet. And I
Go
think
stare
this
at
is
his
part
news.
of the Pippi mod, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we love the thespian.
So as people can see, I can choose between being an elf, a dwarf, or an orc, but I can also choose all the Hyborian races. I can also be fae, I can be a nymph, I can be a halfling, I can be half giant, I can be a tiefling. So it's sort of like a mishmash between Conan and Dungeons and Dragons, from what I can see.
Yeah, basically.
And you said that I should be a magic user?
I would, because if we're going to go in the university,
Yep.
That's just going to make it easier to get in the door.
Yeah. I'm going to be a student of the arcane. I am versed in Conjuration. And then I choose a backstory for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that I escaped pirates.
Oh, I shouldn't have had you do that.
Whoops.
Bring him back. Try again.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
But I can just teleport to you, can I?
Yeah. So yeah, you've actually popped into the pirate area starting
Right.
quest now. Every class has a separate starting quest. So I can just take you straight inside the university,
Yeah,
and
let's
we'll
do
skip the doorman who's going to refuse you entry. So let me warp.
So then, yeah, my selections at the beginning of my quest line basically tells me which starting area I get, and then I have to follow the story from there.
And your gear and that sort of thing. Or if you had created a tiefling, we give you horns.
Oh, nice, yeah. Because I'm just
yeah.
a regular
Okay, yeah, warp to me.
Hyborian.
Do you want me to warp you, or are you?
No,
okay,
I'm working on it. There we go.
Okay,
All right.
we're
wait for it.
inside. We skipped the corruption.
Wait for it all to load in. There we go. And so this, if people are watching on the map, and the nice little mini map that we have in the lower right hand corner, we're currently in the middle of the unnamed city, but you've basically just built an entire like mage college or library in here.
Yes. Well, not me personally. This was
but
one of the visions of the server owner,
Right.
the founder, Erik. He wanted there to be magic in the world, but it not to just be completely accessible to everybody. So we have a university of magic. So even if you start as a mage or a warlock or a shaman, a magic using class in any way, you still have to go through actually attending the university. So if we come down here, in the style of D&D, we ask you to pick a school of magic. So like as a shaman, I use evocation. And yeah, you come on in here, you'll find your teacher. You will have quests that you can do immediately. You will have cooldowns for your spells where you're only able to learn a new one about every 3 days.
Right.
And they're involved. I'm honestly stuck right now on I have to gather spell components for my next explodey spell. And I'm trying to get volatile glands, and I'm going to have to go trade with other players to get them. And we have some quests, like this student here will give you a quest to gather the other students, which we don't actually want to do. I think you met them earlier.
Would you mind helping me out? I'm supposed to be meeting up with 3 other students right now for a study group, but they're already several minutes late. Yeah, I'm supposed to find all of them, I guess.
Yeah, we don't want to. We don't want to.
We don't want to do that quest. All right, then we're not going to do that quest.
That's the quest that teaches you about how to get rid of corruption.
Yeah, I heard you had to do a special thing to get rid of corruption, and I'm not going to tell people what it is because it's...
No, they gotta do the quest.
It's a bit
But we
naughty.
have, classrooms.
Sorry.
Shen's beautiful work. Classrooms in here. there are more quests coming in. We have things like the University Endgame stuff that hasn't been put in yet.
Right.
On our top floor, we have.
I'm noticing a lot of stuff from the steel mod that we talked about last week on this stream.
Yeah.
Yes, the Savage Steel. That's what it was.
Savage Steel.
Yeah.
Yes, that is one of our much loves in with this. Here's one of our Tiefling NPCs, the Master of Conjuration. I don't know. You might be able to talk to her and see the options.
Yeah, I wish to learn more about Conjuration, Recharge. I've learned all there is to know from my school. I wish to expand my studies into Conjuration.
Yeah. Yeah, even with magic being prolific in the world, it was really important to us that it was a journey. And we have a lot of people that come in and they're like, well, I didn't make a magic user, I made a slaver, but they want to change and I want to learn magic. And we're like, yes, we want you to grow and to evolve and really develop your character the way you like it. And people, I feel like I should mention, we do allow everybody to have an alt as well.
Right.
A alt.
One alternate character.
One single alt. I'm gonna check. Did we give you money? I'm gonna give you some money.
I have 20 gold, and I have 20.
What?
I have 20 bronze. I mean bronze coins, and I have one gold coin in my inventory as well.
One gold coin. Wait. Okay.
That I can't
I'm gonna
really
give
do
you.
anything with.
So we primarily use the Pippi currency, which we call them after our world name, so we call them talls.
Right.
And I just gave you a couple gold talls. So if we want to hop through this portal, or did you want to see upstairs?
We can probably hop through the portal.
Oh, go through the portal.
There's a lot of stuff to see here. So for people just joining us, this is the From Ashes Risen mod. Well, server, which is running a bunch of different mods. I posted hope you don't mind that I posted the mod list in the chats so people can
that's fine.
see all the mods that are being run on the server.
Yeah, and we have a page on the wiki at the www.fromashesrisen.com that is specifically to help people with mods. So one thing that really kind of shocks people about our world is they come in and they're like, oh my god, I can't learn cartography. You buried it under university.
Yeah.
And we have a fast travel system. So you find these wagoneers all over the world, and they always have a currency converter near them who can exchange the Age of Calamitous currency for Pippi currency.
Nice.
And so you have, all of them have their own personality. Well, not the currency converters. We weren't rewriting that script. All the wagon drivers and the ferry masters and the portal masters have their own personalities, and they'll take you certain places for a fee. Or randomly, you might get lucky and they may be looking for an adventurer to escort them.
Right.
And you can travel for free, even get rewarded for helping them reach their destination. So we are going to head to Tortuga, correct?
Yes. Next up is Tortuga.
I won't make you use the fast travel system, and I don't think our luxury travel guy is nearby here.
There's not one here.
Because it's not an RP hub. Only RP hubs have the luxury fast travel vendor. So I'm just going to warp Tortuga.
Sure. No worries. And I'll just warp right after you.
Sounds good.
So, what would be an RP hub? What does that entail? That it's an RP hub.
Sakarium, could you get that one?
Our RP hubs are player built, sometimes admin built, cities like Tortuga here.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a set of rules that go along with them. The owner of the RP hub is allowed to set up those rules. It has to be applied.
Yeah, as far as raiding and PvP and within the walls and such.
Right.
Yeah. And people who visit need to abide by the rules, but it's basically designed a place for people to congregate and roleplay together.
Right. So
and not have to worry about monsters jumping them out in the middle of the world.
Yeah, because that is also one thing that I always wonder when I hear about these RP servers, and that is, do you ever just get jumped by NPCs and by like boss monsters and giants and all that kind of stuff?
We try to use a lot of fences.
All right. That's probably a good idea.
If you meet out in the world, sometimes you get jumped by other players.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like I was telling Jens earlier that we do have, sometimes it's a little difficult to tell the difference between a player and a named NPC.
Yeah.
So we do occasionally have players get attacked with somebody looking to capture them, and hilarity ensues.
Of
And
course.
it's always, I don't think we've had anybody be mad about it. Everyone's pretty much understood.
Yeah.
So how's the city loading in for you?
I'm fully decked out, so we can just go, I think.
Which, again, much love for that building update.
Hey.
Yes, made it so much faster.
Shout out to Scooper, who worked so hard to make that optimization work the way it did, and worked on it for as long as he did and as much as he did. So it's all his credit.
So I'm going to make you lead, because we built Tortuga intending to be a mess. It's supposed to look like a small fishing town that grew up and expanded outwards. So when you come in on this end near the shore, you're actually, we have market here where players can add thespians. It's recently added. And, you start moving into the slums. We've got our old buildings here.
Hey.
And as you progress out towards the newer areas, it's going to look a lot better, nicer, richer. More merchants. It's pretty shady back here. So I'm going to let you go, because we specifically built this with the intent that we want players to get lost in here.
All right, we'll see. We'll see how lost I get then. So how do you deal with if a player wants to raid, or if he wants to attack other players, or if he wants to go be more of a PvP person on the server?
Well, first off, one of the things we do is we ask every single person who comes in to complete a consent sheet that has obviously a lot of the ERP stuff, but then also the is it okay to capture you on site? Is it okay to PvP with you? And we do put the burden on the players there of, if you're running around and you want to do this as somebody, you need to know if they're okay with it ahead of time, either through their consent sheet or by arranging it out of character. We try to keep the meta stuff as small as possible, but here, actually, do you want to come down here? We'll visit one of the Lotus houses.
Yes.
We try to keep the out of character to a minimum, but there's just things like that where we need people to be able to be comfortable. And if somebody doesn't abide by that, then we very sadly kiss them on their little heads.
And then kick them out.
Yeah. Because this has to be enjoyable for everybody. It can't,
And there is going to be some out-of-character element to setting up an event. For example, we just had one of our players kidnapped.
Right, yeah.
We're trying to figure out what happened in character. But they talked about it for a while before the event actually happened.
Yeah, now, if you hadn't started as a magic user too, and you wanted to find entrance to the university, there are some hints out in the world that will... this is not the right one, but I'm going to take you in here because it looks freaking cool. There are some hints that there might be somebody in Tortuga who knows a way in.
Right.
So this is not it. This is a fortune teller.
It looks really
and
good.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think she has any dialogue yet, but there's a little weird shop over here. This is obviously the very weird back corner of the city.
For those of you wondering what mod is showing up, is making my weapons show up, that is the Fashionist mod, I think.
It might be Sexiles or Thrall Wars.
Yeah.
Both of them have elements where if you have something on your hotbar, will show up on your character to compensate for all of the nice cuffs and stuff.
Wait, I think I lost you now, Amy. I think I went in a completely different direction. But like you said, you were supposed to get lost here. There you are.
Yes. The buildings are also made close enough that if you are trying to escape, you can hop across the roofs.
Yeah. Oh, so you can do full Assassin's Creed in this thing if you want to.
Oh yeah. We very much wanted that. Once you come back down here, it starts getting a little roomier, a little clearer, more street signs.
All right. Starboard Street. That's a good name. Yeah, so this would be the more affluent areas, I guess, with bigger houses, bigger streets. I also think I found the brothel.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, well, we're not going to spend any time in there. People don't want to see that.
That's really sad because we actually have an interactive system for that in the works. If you visit the brothel a lot, you might need to be a little careful about the debuffs you come away with. And the higher chance of that, the more popular a particular thespian is.
Yeah.
So,
Spookala in Twitch says that Tortuga is a amazing build. Every house is different and organic. So.
Did you want to go talk to the bouncer? Maybe push him a little?
I'm not sure if I want to do that because I know what happens when we do. I think maybe we can.
Leave people.
Yeah, I think maybe we can
figure it out.
I think maybe we can move on to the next area.
Okay, so.
And yes, that is supposed to look like a ship, Nel1. It's not a ship that you can travel with, but it absolutely looks like a ship.
If you want to pop up here really fast, you can actually see. I have to see which doors you can open. What's that one? I'm not sure if this is. Oh, sorry. I'll block the way. Oh no, the bottom door is locked. I can't go downstairs.
So good.
But over on this side, you'll find the captain. He's not very nice though. He's kind of a jerk. You can tell by the way he's sitting there. Yeah, there are NPCs. Will respond to you differently depending on your race and your gender.
Right.
Sometimes they will absolutely refuse to have anything to do with you. The craftsmen, like the dwarves, get maybe some extra discounts with some of the craftsmen, because of the whole racial thing. We try to keep it as unique for every player as possible. It sometimes makes a little bit of difficulty when people are like, oh, I want to do this thing that my friend did. Oh, well, you're going to have your friend... Oh, I just realized one place I didn't show you.
Oh, the sewer system?
The sewer system, but we're going to go on the other side because I can't duck through that door.
Yeah.
So you have to remember that the guy that set up the sewers is a dwarf.
Right.
So he could get through some things that
other players can't because they're too tall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask if there were I was going to ask about racial differences between the different races that you can play as, and obviously one of them being that dwarves can get through places where other people can't.
Oh my gosh, okay, I'll let you go first. I can never get through these doors. Yeah, we do all of the races. We have people playing half giants that are nearly 2 blocks tall. We have somebody running around that is so small that you can get on your knees and they barely come up to your waist. But we do have a thieves guild in Tortuga somewhere in these stinky sewers, and it is a literal maze in here.
It really absolutely looks like it.
I'm not going to go too far because I'm not going to lie, I got completely lost in here the other night, ran around for a couple of hours trying to find that thieves guild. I still haven't found it, and I don't want to ruin it for myself.
Or for any of the viewers.
Or for any of the viewers if I knew to ruin it. So I got out.
Oh god, I think I'm lost
good
now.
Luck.
I was reading chat and I think I'm lost now. No.
I'll tell you what, I'll head up to the next one.
And then
turn
I can
around.
just teleport. Oh yeah, turn around.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, now I know where I are. Thank you, Sicario.
And we'll just go through here and we're back in the bay.
And there's a monster somewhere screaming at me.
Oh, you might be hearing one of the Van Ghoul guards on the ship because they do sit and go.
Oh, yeah.
This is from the Age of Calamitous mod.
Yep. I can't I can't believe people just built all this because I do like building, but I don't think I'd ever be able to make something as big as all of this stuff.
Well, let me just say that Tortuga is admin built.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, it has taken hundreds of hours. And it's still not done. But that's the way we're building the world. The world is never going to be done. We want it living. This build, however, is entirely player built.
From the ground up with all the resources.
From the ground up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, Scourge Dragon Head.
So actually, Sicarium, I think you on your alt know this village.
I have not been in this village. I am in the clan on my alt, but I do not come.
Well, he's
There
the
she
owner.
is.
I feel bad because she's going to role play and I can't multitask.
Oh, whoops.
Local.
Rip.
May we?
We're just going to do
typing.
some quick role-playing here, and the
We do
typing you
have a
hear in the
rule.
background is Amy
Yes,
role-playing.
I'm sorry. My machine gun typing. I tried to turn on push to talk, and he was like, "No, you gotta turn that off." Oh, okay. Thank you, Sicarium,
I got
for
you.
asking for an out-of-character tour, so we know where to go. I know there's some secret passages that we have been asked not to reveal.
Of course.
So we
of
cannot
course.
do those.
So, as server admin, Amy, what is your main contribution to the server?
My role as admin, I do a lot of the management side, the project management. We do have our own Trello boards for the world building, the lore writing, and the wiki management, and I actually have kind of taken on the DevOps role as well, so doing the server infrastructure and stuff. I am not one of the creative forces.
Right.
She's also our community manager between the admins and the players.
I am the meat shield, whatever I can be. I'm
See,
not
kids,
the only one with talents in that area.
Yeah.
But...
See, kids, even role-playing servers in popular video games have community managers now. It never stops. It never stops.
Yeah, basically. Well, I would definitely encourage. I mean, you know that I have worked as a community manager professionally, and
Yes.
I would say if you run a server like this and you do community management and you want to go into that professionally, for the love of God, put it on your resume because it does make a difference.
Yes, put
Oh my God! It's the tiny one!
Is he here? Yeah, there he is.
Oh my God!
He's right next to her feet.
I haven't seen him in game! That is incredible!
I think we can just end the stream right there.
Yeah, it just won. He just won it all. Wow. Can he climb? Can you?
Oh, look, he's so
climb
small.
He's
so good.
Because I know our orcs and half giants have difficulty climbing because of the. Oh my God, he's climbing!
Nerd and Noob says that he has to use a spear, otherwise he can't hit anything.
That's
so
hilarious.
good.
Yeah.
He's
mainly
like a brownie in Willow.
Yeah, he gathers. He's a slave, and he gathers.
Oh my God! What does he gather? Leaves?
Oh, he runs around and just collects materials for the most part.
Look at him.
So cute. I want one. But yeah, I was saying I know the orcs and half giants have trouble climbing because the animation that kicks in to actually climb to the top of a block, it starts when your hands reach it. But because you're so much taller, your feet aren't up where they're supposed to be, so you just fall back over and over.
Rip.
So we tell them to put a lot of points in agility.
Whoops. Sorry.
She's got him collared now.
Oh no. Yeah, so for people just joining us, we are in the From Ashes Risen role-playing server.
And she's dragging him around. Great.
Where we're getting a tour.
What race is he? I don't want to go look at his character sheet.
His lore is he's a human who was shrunk by a witch.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. See, we do. Like I said, everything is story driven. So even with our server rules, a lot of times we will, if somebody can give us a fantastic story, we will make some exceptions. But it has to be.
There are always exceptions to the rules, right?
Yeah. We just don't want to stop a really good story.
Oh, I really like this altar. It's.
Yeah, you gotta look up though in here.
Ooh, yeah, that's Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She has put a lot of work into this building.
It's breathtaking.
So yeah, the glass ceiling is a mod. The curved stairs is a mod. But yeah, it's a really combination of things that we have implemented into the game and then that mod makers have put into the game as well. In case people are wondering. Yeah, I'm worried about like kicking him or something. He's just gonna go flying.
Oh, and then there's the cultists over here.
Right. Cultists of the Tainted Ones.
Yeah, I think she had said before that they're adding a lot of quests in here.
Right.
They actually just got this build finished to the point where they were like 2 days ago approved as an RP hub, and we're starting to build stuff.
It's corpse on the floor.
The corpse on the floor is real good. So this, it seems like a lot of this server like slowly evolves bit by bit, and like the story and the quests that people can do evolves bit by bit as people have ideas and bring them in.
Ideally.
Yeah.
It's a lot of role-playing D&D nerds in here that we want. We want them to really bring everything to life.
Yeah.
And we're really grateful for this particular clan because, shockingly, we don't have a lot of really evil characters.
I mean, that's
so.
I find
she's
that weird.
one of them.
yeah, she's definitely one of them, which is funny because out of character, she's a complete sweetheart, and we love her to death.
They usually are, weirdly. Like it's always the nice people who like role play as really just deliciously evil characters.
Yeah, she's pretty good at it. Like Zakarian was saying earlier, there's a story going on actually between her and our character's tribe, which we got
spoiler
somebody
alert.
missing. Yeah. Well, okay, your character doesn't know that. God, stop me.
No, I know he doesn't. See, the problem is I have a character in each clan, so I know what's going on. I just have to be good when I play this character and not know.
Mm-hmm. We also have to be very good. This character of yours is very like lawful good kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you won't take thralls. He insists that everyone in our tribe, when we capture, because our whole lore background is that there's this madness outside of these lands, and we're here to be safe, but there are people that have been touched by the madness, and that's how we explain NPCs of our same races acting the way they do. But we don't, like in our tribe in particular, we don't take thralls, we don't put them on a wheel of pain. We do put them on a cage and put them through some behavior correction. And then we rehabilitate them as villagers. Which my character was confused about, honestly.
I'm making air quotes with the camera when you say rehabilitate.
Rehabilitate.
Yes.
Cure of the madness. I totally lost you guys, so...
We're up on a roof thing. Okay. I'm blown away by the amount of time and effort that I know goes into building this stuff. Because since I know that none of the resources are admin spawned, like everything is built literally by just collecting and grinding a bunch of resources and then building all of this stuff.
It's intense. And people come in, they join, and they're like, so when's the last time the server wiped? And we're like, don't say that word here.
Never.
We manually go through and clean out old bases and such. Yeah. Or try to find new owners for them, like an RP hub like this. When they apply, we ask for a line of succession, basically. Like, if something were to happen to you, who do we give this to?
Yeah, because if people leave and the stuff that they've built is abandoned, like, you'd have to tear it down eventually.
Yeah, we do actually have some Dark Elf ruins right now. All of our Dark Elves that are left are wild, and they are out in the wilderness somewhere, and they don't know how to build anything, and they just move from place to place all the time. And
Not 100% true. We have one who just joined as a slaver.
Oh, okay, yeah. But do they live in the passage?
I don't know where he lives. I don't know if he's played enough to establish a place yet.
Yeah, so actually for the Dark Elves and the Dwarves, what the server owner did was block off most of the cave systems in the game. So instead of going in and finding like the spider boss, actually we're going to go into the Underdark here and I think head to a dwarven city.
Yes, let's do
that. If I can remember the warp name. New Stormhold. There we go.
Question from the chat: does the server have active streamers, or is it mostly an internal role-playing?
I don't know that we actually have any active streamers, but we don't discourage it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that we have anyone active right now streaming. Just role playing right now.
All right.
I have teleported in. If you guys want to warp to me.
All right.
I couldn't get the front door, which is totally awesome. But I couldn't get the front door to work earlier.
Yeah, I got to see the front door earlier, and it's basically the giant moon door from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Where it says "Speak, friend" and enter. So. Z-Force 911 says, "I'm really about to join this right after the stream."
Great. Please read everything carefully.
There are questions. You better read.
Yep. Oh, whoops.
So for
I just
people,
got a loading screen.
oh, rip.
Oh, I got teleported out.
Oh, no.
Did I pull you to me?
Yes, I think you pulled me to you.
So, for people who might not recognize this area, this is one of the giant spider caves that we have in the game. Usually you would come down here, I think, behind here, and then eventually you'd come into the middle here and there'd be a giant spider walking around.
Yeah, it's the one that
dwarf
used to just pop in here when you came in, and then it was like, oh god, surprise boss.
Yes, that is essentially it.
Yeah. She has, I'm not sure if she has been moved right now. Yeah. I'm getting boots. I hope that's nothing important. Okay, there we go. So this is another player built. I think the owner does play a dwarf, and he has been in here as well. But for the most part, it is our adorable little dwarf community.
This is
I'm starting to think I really like short characters.
Maybe you have like a hidden thing that you didn't know about before. I'm impressed at how they managed to integrate the like these giant pillars, for example. Are they part of a mod? Yeah, they're part of a mod. Never mind. Because I was impressed at how they integrated the giant pillars. Because like, were these here? When the game rolled out,
I love that when you can't tell. Oh my gosh, do we have dwarves? We have dwarves.
It looks like we have dwarves.
Reeker was running around, and some non-dwarf people were around too.
Yeah, we did have someone say in chat that
there's
we
dwarves.
do have a player that actively streams. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I also want to give a quick shout out to people on YouTube saying that we've abandoned the game. We have not. We are still updating the game. The Conan Exiles team is still working on Conan Exiles, but we wanted to highlight a really cool role-playing server that's running a bunch of mods, and this is why we're streaming from this particular server today.
Which we appreciate, because hundreds of hours for free.
Yes, I was going to say.
Actually, this right here, this is our server owner.
Oh. Look at the tiny boy.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to get squeaky. They're just so cute, and when they talk, it's just I love it. The halflings, though, they're
not as good.
They got attitudes.
Right. We don't randomly jump into role-playing servers. I'm answering someone's question in chat now, but this one, because Amy and I had been talking back and forth a bit on Twitter. And she mentioned that she was helping out admin a RP server, so I figured, hey, why not stop by and get a grand tour? Because you showed me some maps and talked about some of the stuff that you'd been doing, and I was really fascinated by it, which is why I wanted to check it out and maybe stream it, and then maybe maybe more people will open their eyes to role-playing. And if you have a server that you want us to come visit, then feel free to just tell us on the forums or on social media or on Discord, or anywhere else where you might be located. All right. So this was the Dwarven City. Yeah.
I would say make sure you have your sandstorm mask on.
Yes.
Because we are going to pop over to one of our other new-ish hubs, which is the Poison Kingdom of Datura.
Right.
And if I were a better person, I would have looked into this a little more to be able to tell you the lore of the city, because it's great. But yes, it is built in the Shattered Springs.
Ooh. Just gotta wait for things to load.
Yeah, that one's pretty fun too.
Let me know when you load. We'll come on down here.
I'm in.
Okay, cool. Oh, and they have a...
They have a portal master.
I got stuck on Sicarium. Yeah, because they are an RP hub, so they have Atlas here, who for an entire silver tall will teleport you between the RP hubs.
Right. He's the best damn warper in all the university.
Oh, there's a poison merchant. I didn't know that. This is what I love. I feel like I'm ruining the server for myself right now. I'm exploring all this.
I'm sorry for spoiling you on all the amazing things that people have built in the server that you admin.
You'll notice the sign up here. Please stable your pets. Because
that's cool.
No amount of anything we do keeps pets from attacking when you walk into RP hubs and stuff. So we have to put different. Yeah.
Gotta lock them up.
Yeah. We've had some pretty sad stories about losing stuff. There's an elevator, but you know what? I'm not gonna jump. I'll fly. I'm always so impatient.
Me too.
Oh wow. So come down here where the elevator would have put you. There's this lovely little passage into the Poison Kingdom.
See, stuff like this always impresses me, where they build into and around the terrain and just implement it in really interesting and cool and fun ways.
And they've actually pinned their laws for the city up on the wall here, so you know what to...
What you can and can't do here.
Yeah.
Rules. Yeah, rules out of character, laws in character. No killing within
No
the city
destruction of
walls.
city property.
Yeah.
Don't pick plants.
Loss of fingers may occur. That's real good.
Keep off the grass. Yeah, this is very impressive. Whoa! Hello, Rocknose. He just popped up there. Oh, and they, their gator is aggroing me.
You should maybe cloak yourself.
Oh. No, he's fine. He's behind a wall. They've built it really well. I don't know if we can go in the building.
Yeah, they're fighting each other now.
Working as intended.
Yep. Oh,
Yay, guards.
This is so cool
and
looking.
even with the pacify kits, they will run at you sometimes.
They run at you, see who you are, and then ignore you after.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's weird. There's a UI element that won't go away, which is not great.
It won't go away?
Yeah, I locked onto the dwarf man earlier, and his health bar is still stuck on my screen.
Oh my gosh. What happens if you hit Q a couple times?
Can
you look on one of us?
Still there. Visual bug.
We're clan.
Visual bug.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Well, you know, we'll put it a bug report on the forums.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it directly to one of our designers, or one of our coders. Fix this. It was on stream. I'm just gonna barge out of the streaming room and just slap them real quick. I'm not gonna slap our coders. Don't worry. I'm gonna be very nice to our coders.
We love them. They should be treated kindly.
Yes, I agree.
With soft gloves.
And they would agree as well.
I love all
Shattered
the stuff
Bones
growing on
Recover
these
Center.
buildings.
Nice.
I'm sorry? Oh.
I just read a sign out loud. Yeah, exactly. And now I have a recording of the bug that they can review, which is nice.
Great.
Which makes it
It's
even
like you
easier.
planned it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a really lovely build. Really beautiful. Let's see. Do we have a little time? I think we actually had some players in roleplay right now.
Oh, cool.
We go see hanging out a bit.
Yep, let's do that.
Warp does not exist. If I can remember what their wharf tribe. Okay, third time's the charm. Got it. We're good.
All right, and I'm gonna teleport to you, hopefully.
Oh, and somebody's got their panther in a pen.
Yay!
Good. Oh no, I'm stuck on Sicarium again. This is getting to be a really gnarly problem.
Sorry.
Hi, Panther. Oh, he doesn't like me, but
I think maybe you need to pull me to you because the teleport command just wouldn't work now.
okay.
Or I can just open my map because you're in my clan.
Yeah, there is
can
that. Do you need me to
maybe-
summon you?
No, I can see where you are.
Okay.
Boom. Admin teleport, baby.
Nice. Yeah, oh, you can see one of our giant NPCs here.
Yes.
He's one of our fast travel guys. He doesn't need a wagon. He just throws you over his shoulder and runs.
Throws you in that backpack of his.
Mm-hmm. You get where you're going, and he's like, that was a good exercise. I think we have some guys down. This is actually the tribe's headquarters and one of the RP hubs. Where we have
Meant to be more barbarian-like, so it's not all fancy.
well, I see.
I'd say that this is
Thespians.
pretty fancy, though. Like, it looks real good.
I would like to request a drum pounding animation.
I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna ask the animators if they can add that.
Yay! We're musicians.
Should I turn on the bar music?
I think there's already bar music.
Well, there's the overall tribe music.
Right.
And I'm not sure where.
Because you've added in a bunch of custom music to this server as well.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So like in the
the
area we
tribe music.
started, yeah, and then we have the tribal music here, and then also in the shaman quest area. And the university had its own music. Tortuga did have some music and sound effects, but
Right.
every now and then we'll try a sound that gets kind of glitchy and makes people crash. So
Oof.
that got yoinked.
Oops. Rip.
Yeah, and there is a bug too where if somebody's sitting in a chair, it's probably mod related, but if somebody's sitting in a chair when you walk into the area and it tries to draw it in, because I know there's another person in a chair over here somewhere.
Right.
She's talking.
Is that why I didn't see them?
Yeah, he'd have to stand up for you to see him
Whoops.
Oh.
move to render it. See, he just made an emote.
Oh, there
There
we
he
go.
is.
There he is.
Yep.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, they're talking in local. These people are fantastic, and we love them lots. And there you can see a player with the horns.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lavosia. I'm looking at her right now. I'm just staring at her like the creep that I am.
I hope she hears that on the stream.
I mean, she might. I am.
Yeah, but this is the intent of the RP hubs
Yeah.
is to give people a place to come. We have usually we have a dancer in here. She is mysteriously missing, and she was
Yeah.
supposed to leave a note for the chieftain anytime she went on a journey because she's not really combat heavy.
Yeah, she's not a fighter.
Right.
So, where could she be? That's a Age of Calamitous one.
Santa Claus? Really?
Yeah.
He looks like an orc.
But he doesn't have
Fine
claws at
cookie.
all.
He has tusks.
Sure.
If we could figure out
I'm
a way
just-
to give tusks to the players, so many of us would reroll orc.
I'm just
Oh, yeah.
referencing Nightmare Before Christmas,
Oh.
where they say Santa Claus, but you don't have claws at all. It's a whole thing. I'm sorry. I'm a nerd.
It's okay. We all have our things.
It's very true. But yeah, I'm super
yeah,
impressed
she's
by all of
asking-
this. Like, everything here has been incredibly impressive.
Hello.
Thank you.
Farewell.
Sorry, Sicarium just got pulled for roleplay. They're asking where the dancer is.
Oh.
It's a
Yeah, I
mystery.
should probably turn on the chat so people can see the role playing going on.
Yeah, you could put on local chat.
Yes, let's do that. Settings.
Sicarium's
chat.
using God voice.
I'm also just gonna move this thing up here.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
should
people
fix that.
watching. There we go.
And on my
Just leave it
screen, our
God
guys,
voice.
male dancers doing the snake dance, which is obviously the best choice for male dancer.
So, people might not know this, but the dancer who's dancing in here, Oyvind Talltree, that's a reference to one of our world designers,
Oh!
whose name is Oyvind, and who is a very, very tall man.
Oh, that's actually a recreation
Oh, okay.
of a thespian turned into him because
Sure.
they run all over the place when people show up, and it was just kind of getting annoying.
Yeah, fair.
So I just recreated him, and
I think it
gave him the
still
same
counts because it has the same name, and he's still an entertainer.
He looks just like the guy did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Derivative work.
And it still counts.
That is fantastic to know. Should we watch for you in here? Are you a thrall? Can we capture you?
I am not a thrall, but my voice is in the game. So there's a merchant in Seprameru
Okay.
who has my voice. I think he might be one of the first merchants that you see if you come in from like the south entrance, like the southern entrance.
Okay.
Entrance.
So like near the Rasmus house.
Yes, absolutely. So there's a merchant there who will sell you stuff, and he has my voice, and every time I talk to him, I just hear myself failing at being a voice actor.
Aw, well,
Yeah.
we couldn't tell, so.
I am not at all happy with how that sounds, but that's just me.
I mean, obviously we have, the Seprameru reminded me, we have a lot more stuff on the server that, we don't have time to, like, find every single thing. Like, where we actually have some additional NPCs and set stuff in Seprameru. Ideally, we would like to make pilgrimage sites for the religions.
Ah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Well, again, we do have a rule. We try to keep the rules so that they're not getting in the way, but they encourage as much collaboration as possible. So one of those is, unless a really good exception can be made, no clan is supposed to have more than one top tier religious altar,
Right.
except for Zotli, which was through the Exiled Lands improved, I believe. With the idea that they should, be a cohesive religion to begin with, but also need to go seek out others to get any items they were hoping to from their particular religion. So we are adding in pilgrimage sites and some NPC, some thespians who can let you do some quests, like if you're a worshiper of Emir and everyone else in your clan wants to follow Jorketto, that you can go get the top end weapons and gear. Earn them through your own religious thing.
I mean, that sounds to me at least like a really good idea, and it opens up for a lot of interesting ways of playing the game and interesting ways of interacting with other characters. And you can have you can take that even further into like religious wars and characters clashing over who's like the one true god, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did have some Mithra players who wanted to do that early on, and sadly that was before we had a lot of players on, and I think they got a little bored waiting. Yeah. There was and like I said, we at the time we didn't have a lot of evil players, so they were like, we want to have conflict, and Mithra's the only true god, and everyone else is like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So that gets kind of boring. So now we have a little more diversity.
Sure. There was a question in chat that I'm going to ask before it goes away. Where Velox asks, did you do the sizes with Pippi scaling or the other way around?
So we were doing the sizes just through Pippi scaling, and about 2 days ago we went through the process of adding a new mod, and it is a process with like 15 mods on the server.
I bet.
If somebody suggests a mod, we have to test it locally. We have to, try to spin up other stuff and test it with our database, and it's a pain. So we went through all of this to add the quality of life improved, which actually, rather than the admins having to do sliders on people, lets us lets players modify a whole lot more. So we're actually doing the character design through that now, or the character sliders through that. So there's some more options, like for the dwarves, that lets them make themselves more barrel chested rather than just shorter.
I can probably
because it was really hard to tell halflings and dwarves apart.
I brought up that thing, the improved quality of life settings now. When there's like character tinting, you can change some physics on your character. It even includes a butt slider which people have asked us about for a while. You can also make changes to like the mini map, your respawn marker. You can choose which units the like stuff is presented in, and then of course there's server settings and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love the physics settings, because that's always one thing that annoys me is I put on metal Not this one. This one's obviously a little skimpier, but like I put on a metal breastplate and it still bounces.
Yeah, I did notice that. I
Go
wasn't
there,
gonna say anything because I figured maybe
Sorry.
that's uncouth, but it's
I'll be uncouth. I'm rude. I don't let my boobs to bounce in metal. Sorry.
that's what it
But
is.
no, it's nice that it gives me that opportunity.
Yeah,
Like the only thing that would make it better is if I could change that per outfit,
right. Yeah.
rather than having to go inside it. So it's nice. It was worth the hassle.
So I actually think we're at the end of our hour here, since we started a little late,
yeah.
but we've been running for about an hour and 10 minutes. So I think maybe we're gonna leave it there.
Okay.
And
You're in the tribe now. You're not allowed to leave.
oh god, is that how it works?
It is now.
Amy just made up that rule.
These are rules that I've just made up, and I'm backing it up with this
I'm the
gun.
tribe shaman. I can.
If people want to join your server and have some role-playing fun for themselves, where can they hit you up?
On Discord. So I would get the link again from. You can find From Ashes Risen advertised on the Funcom servers, and then we also have a website at www.fromashesrisen.com that will have a link to our Discord, and really everything is run through the Discord.
I also put a link in the chat, both in Twitch and in Mixer and on YouTube. And if people want to check it out, then they can do it right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really cool. Thank you so much for showing off your server and for spending an hour and change
Thank you so much for coming and touring.
with me
thank
in
you.
the chat. It's been really great.
I'm glad you were here. I got to see the tiny guy.
Yes, that was really cool too, to see
Yeah.
both the dwarfs and the 2-inch tall man, because I didn't really think that he would appear.
Yeah.
And from what I could understand, I think chat also appreciated seeing the very tiny man. So
We need more tiny people. We're
Yes.
gonna take one of those, take part of the Underdark back and make it a brownie cave.
yeah,
Well, he was supposed to be one of many on a ship that got shrunk. So there.
Oh,
so there might be more
more.
tiny men,
some
more
role
tiny women.
there.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna just do some quick stuff. I'm trying to wrap up the stream now, so I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys, and I'm gonna say bye to the chat and close the stream. So again, thank you so much for showing me your server. It's been really fun.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So final shout out to chat. Nicole, who's been in Twitch chat. Do you have anyone we can raid? Maybe you should just fire up that stuff right away. Let's see what we got coming up. Tomorrow we're doing another variety stream. We haven't really set what game we're playing just yet, but we're gonna announce that if not today, then if not immediately after the stream, then during the day tomorrow at least. And stuff is still happening. There are more patches and updates on the way, and look forward to more Conan Unconquered coverage coming next week, end of next week, I think, because we're showing that game at GDC and a lot of journalists are looking at it, and we hope they really like it. So some of that stuff is going to come out next week as well. So until you join us next time, we're just going to say bye, and we hope you have a very lovely Thursday evening.